Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sandbox stream. I am Alex, and we're joined by Joseph here. Morning.
Hello, how you doing?
Doing all right. Having an okay morning. A little bit sleepy. Totally decaffeinated at the moment. So hopefully I stay awake. But we're doing fun stuff, so I should be fine. In the news, real quickly, because a lot of you are probably have been watching the past couple days. We had the Care Bears pre-sale, which is all totally sold out. Uh, I don't know how many lands were in there in that. It was like 4,000 something,
Uh,
5,000 something lands.
yeah, it's roughly 4,500.
Yeah. There we go. Split the difference. So about 4,500 lands were sold. A whole bunch of premium lands with a bunch of legendary, epic, rare, and common Care Bear items. And yeah, exciting stuff. Cool to see my artwork for that going out to everybody. I was able to snag a hero cheer bear myself, and I think I've got a possible trade set up with somebody for that sweet legendary uh, ancient elder bear, which was my favorite of the group. So I think we're just gonna we're gonna cut the news today because usually we go kind of long talking about news, and we're just gonna jump right into the game maker because I kind of wanna like finish some stuff with this fantasy grasslands level. We always kind of go off the rails a little bit for this one, and we're gonna be moving to 0.3 soon. So thank you. Just had a very important delivery from my wife.
Very good.
So anyway, we just released 0.3 yesterday, and whoa.
What happened?
0.2 heard me talking about 0.3 and was like, "Hey,
Uh,
I don't like this. You're gonna abandon me."
right. Yep.
So let's hmm.
Hmm.
So we might be
Huh.
forced into using 0.3 because I used it yesterday and it worked fine. I also
Oh.
used 0.2 yesterday and it also worked fine. So I don't know
Hmm.
what that was about. That could have just been a maybe my computer needs a little coffee itself. Avatar asks, "Can I use the sandbox maker if I buy land?" So the game maker is in early access alpha right now. So it's a closed alpha, currently available for people in our programs like the Game Maker Fund and the Creator Fund, and also, oh, it might be because the avatar is old. Oh, I think I might know what's wrong with this one. We might not be able to open up that map right now unless I get the dev team to change some things manually in the code. Um, Fingers crossed that it opens correctly this time. Hey, there we go. Fingers crossing works.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
I was worried because this guy, this is the old one. We just replaced this model. He's got new hands and a whole bunch of new animations. So we can replace him with the upgraded version. So yeah, Game Maker is in closed alpha. So you do have to either be in one of our programs or a landowner. Not all landowners are getting the Game Maker instantly. You do have to apply. So if you do not already have access, you need to go to sandbox.game/play, and you will be able to apply for early access there as a landowner. We've got hundreds now. I don't know the exact number. There's at least hundreds of landowners who have access to the game maker. Uh, we've got, I think, close to 2,600 unique landowners now after the pre-sale, something like that. So there's a lot of people who have land. We don't want to do a full release out to everybody all at once because that's going to be a lot of support questions for how do I do this? How do I do this? How do I do this? And
Sure.
we want to be able to answer those questions quickly and thoroughly. And if we've got more questions than we have people to answer them, it's going to be stressful for everybody. So I know people are eager to get into the game maker, but we're doing the limited rollout, so that way people can kind of get familiar and make sure they're all set, and then we can give it to a new group of people. And we're adding new game maker, we're adding people to the game maker access list all the time. So if you own land and you're not on the list yet, you may be soon. I can't promise exactly when that will be, but it's something that we're actively doing. So I thought this water bottle is like really tall and it's covering part of my monitor, and I thought maybe I could put it on the floor, but the floor is kind of carpet and it's got like that uneven. It just was like a little top heavy, and I'm like, no, I don't want it. So let's take a look at what we've been doing here in the level. Let's see how let's see if any of these new animations are working correctly. So we've got the roll, we've got the jump in the land. There is a climb. I don't think I have a ladder. Oh, there's a ladder over here. Did we set it up? I don't remember. Yep, climb works. There's some animations. There's new combat animations that you can't see yet because they're not in 0.2. I mean, the animations are technically on the model here, but there's no action to get them running in 0.2. So we do have to go to 0.3 to see the rest of those. There's a new hold attack. So if you kind of the way the sword swings back right before the turn here, you can actually hold it out back, Legend of Zelda style, and like charge your attack, and then release for a big thrust. We've also got an air attack. I haven't seen that one in action. So if you do a jump and attack, there's a downward slice, and what else is there? There's always been some other animations like eat and talk and stuff that we don't have a way of showing right now. But one cool thing that I'm really excited to have in 0.3 is that correct looping animations are back. So that for a long time there's been an issue with stuff like this grass and the sand fountain. If the animation wasn't named idle space 01 and idle with a capital I, it would not loop the animations the way you see like the idle looping on the avatar here. So this piece of grass, which we've used as a fishing rod for our hermit on the island here, that's actually supposed to be kind of bending in the wind. The same thing with the sand fountain. There's been an issue where it'll play the animation once and then it'll stop. So you'll get to see that difference pretty soon. We might show that before the end of the stream. Oh, not land, sand. What am I doing? So I put that down, and you can see that it's turning on the one that I haven't placed, and that's what it's supposed to look like. And then it stopped after the first one here. So that has been fixed. All the animations play all the time. But because we've been working on this in 0.2, I kind of didn't want to switch gears to 0.3 yet. So we're gonna try to do some more stuff with this level today, and maybe next week we'll start using 0.3. We're also looking at a 0.35 release coming up with some more added features very soon. So keep an eye out for lots of updates with that, especially if you already have access to the Game Maker. You can actually go and download 0.3 right now if you want from that sandbox.game/play if you already have access to that. So what should we do with this map? I know we started working on this throne room, and then I didn't save because sometimes I'm a little dumb. So what if we fill out that city and make a little village today? And I kind of want to get rid of the spaceship in the sky here because I actually want to replace this model with a correct version, or like a correctly updated version, make some fixes to this. And if I delete the old one, I don't want it to make this map stop working. So let's see what we can do for the city. Are there any questions in the chat here that I'm not looking at very closely, Joseph?
No, it's been good.
Okay.
There was one. Somebody had a comment that said that the Game Maker is great, and they tried to replicate the key tutorial from last week.
Yeah.
And that went well for them.
Oh,
So,
good.
we'll just continue to produce some I guess feature tutorials here as we go. And
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a list of about 20 tutorials that I need to do, and it's just a matter of getting to them.
Yeah. Yep.
There's always something going on. It's always a little crazy. So I do have lots of tutorials planned with things that I've figured out how to do. Sometimes they're kind of hacky things, like what's a hacky thing that I've done besides hacky sack? Let's I'm trying to think of well, really, like the uh even just here we've already kind of done it. People ask, like, how do I do fish? Well, these are fish, but they're technically birds, because they get this nice circular pattern going through the water here. Things like the way we've got two wizards stacked up on top of each other, one invisible, and we're like progressing a conversation tree by like killing the invisible one off when we complete the quest. So there's a whole bunch of different things like that that we've done, and I will be showing stuff like that, but also stuff that's kind of like the official recommended way to do it, like the key, setting up a key for a door, things like that. This is a game maker, and it has tools, so there's no like right or wrong way necessarily. If it works, it's the right way. There's nothing wrong with having what you might call a hacky solution because it works, and that's the whole point. So let's grab some buildings here. We've got all these beautiful buildings that Tybalt made for the desert, and they work well for setting up villages here. And let's see, there's a well, I think. Do that, and let's make like a dirt path through the village. I kind of like that one better. And I think we can use maybe this as the top of the well, because the well doesn't have a roof, but I feel like they look so much more traditional with a top on them. So let's clear that out. Actually, I forgot that we were doing it in stone, so I guess we'll do a stone path through the village. So I want some sort of village square. Put that in there. And let's kind of we're going to do like an extended like hallway here. Because we can't just walk straight into the throne room. That'd be ridiculous. Who would do a thing like that? And let's see. What kind of door should we put on here? And remember, guys, in the chat, if you have seen any assets on the marketplace that you think look pretty cool, get rid of that spam out of there. If you see something in the chat that looks really cool in the chat, good grief, you can see that the caffeine, the lack of caffeine is affecting me. If you see anything on the marketplace that looks really cool, post a link to it in the chat. I'll be able to see if it's a correct Sandbox address, and let us know that you want to see that in the Game Maker, and I can load it in, and we will take a look at that. I was opening for doors here, so we've got. I don't have a lot of doors. Let's see. I guess we could do a gate for the inside. Be a little drafty, probably. And it's 4 wide, so I didn't need to delete all of that. There we go. And actually, I didn't need to delete that at all, because I can just duplicate this and pull it over, and that way I don't have to reprogram the interaction. So the nice thing with duplicating, which is the Control D command, is that you do not have to recreate everything to get that interaction working. So just by the very fact that I duplicate it, whatever I programmed for that is going to be what works for that. So sometimes it's easier to set up one asset, make sure that it works the way you want it to, and then just duplicate it everywhere. Even if you want to make some variations, like say you wanted to do a key for this door, or in the case of like the fish, you wanted to do like different turn radiuses on them or something like that. Just setting up one first, and then you can duplicate it out and then make any varieties that you want, instead of placing them and then having to manually reset everything every single time. It gets old very fast. Right. Let's see. I don't want this quite so open. I guess we could... that looks too narrow. I'm getting picky. And that actually looks kind of cool like that. Gotta make sure we have some windows. I think technically we could jump through those. And there was a throne that we grabbed before. Oh, you know what? Joseph and I are off our game today because Joseph spent way more time streaming this week than I did. He streamed, what, 8 hours this week? Not including the ones
see.
with me.
No, 8. I actually went 10 hours, not counting today.
Right.
And not counting Wednesday. Wait, maybe counting Wednesday.
Counting Wednesday, it was 10. Right?
Yeah, because
4 pre-sale streams, 2 hours each.
Absolutely. Went on the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th. Now today, day 5 in a row. Super fun.
This will be 12 hours of streaming for you this week.
Yep. It was the world premiere of My Face live this week, so that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
And hopefully people enjoyed it. I know I had tried to help quite a lot of people and did a whole bunch of crazy mess in the land sale. It was great. Great. You could see me in one of those live streams actually during the land sale because it was so popular. You could actually see me actively fail to purchase a land. And in attempting to do so, I announced, like, I think this is going to fail, ladies and gentlemen. And I went, oh shoot, who was it? Who was? Do you remember the name of the person who got that? Like Shinra?
It was X Shinra.
Yeah, X Shinra. I got that piece of land right under me. I said, I don't think this is gonna work, guys. I think it's gonna fail. And then sure enough, X
sniped
Shinra
right
was like,
in there.
Yes, it did. Boom, boom. And it was great. It was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I tried getting some land on the third and fourth sales, and I was able to successfully get one on the third sale, and I was not successful yesterday on the last one, but it's okay.
Sure.
There'll be lots of other opportunities. We've only sold, it's not even a quarter of the map sold so far, I think. Maybe a quarter.
It's actually 31%.
Oh, okay.
If
it's hard to tell when it's all sprawled out.
Yeah, well, in terms of like what the entire map has available, we are under a quarter. But when I say 31%, that's on the basis that what is being sold to the public versus what the Sandbox keeps in reserve for the foundation fund.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Avatar. Dice roll gonna be soon, he says. It's 8:23. Did you?
Yes, that's actually why I started talking to you, and then I forgot again.
Oh, very good, very good.
I was like, oh, this is we must be off our game. We're tired, so yeah, I woke up right before the stream. It's been a long week.
Yeah, all week long I've been getting up at roughly 1, 2 in the morning, something like that, to prepare for all of our streams. And then today, I finally got to sleep in all the way until 7.
8? No, 7.
Yeah,
not even
7.
8.
Yeah. It's 8:24 now where I am in the morning. So
Okay.
beautiful day. It actually is probably the nicest day
It's
we've had in the
nice and
West Coast for a
sunny, and
while.
I've got the window open. The sun's shining.
Birds are
I think
singing.
I think I still have a tree branch on my power line. So if I suddenly like cut out, it's probably because I lost power. I was
Oh
actually
no.
we've got the Dollar General across the street, and I was like, I need some caffeine.
Yeah.
Yesterday right after the stream, I went to walk across the street, and as I started walking, I heard like leaves,
Oh,
and I was like, what was that? And I turn around, and there's like a 8 foot long tree branch dangling
oh,
from the one line that goes from the street to my house.
crazy.
And I'm like, oh, that's not supposed to be there.
Oh,
And it was
if
kind of
you are
windy,
watching,
swinging in the wind.
if you're watching in the chat, you can hear Alex. He's playing with some dice. We'd like to do a roll, but nobody has entered. So, if you could put exclamation mark sand in the chat, and all of those people who do that within the next few minutes, we will start, and we will do a sand kind of a roll for it. You'll get 100 sand today if you are a winner. We'll do 3 of these rolls throughout the stream here, roughly once every 20 minutes. Sometimes we go a little long, though, on the end, just to make sure we finish a bit of the project. So if you're watching, make sure you get that in the chat, and we will announce when the opportunity comes up next. So, Mark, you're right. No one wants to be first. Everybody, we've been hinting at it, but really explicit about it. So
Well, somebody was
if
first
you
yesterday, so.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I actually mentioned that yesterday, right? Like but the odds of rolling a 1 with the type of dice that we use is actually just as well as any other roll, so it's all good. You can
I
be first and still have the same chance to win.
Yes. Yeah. We roll 1 through 99. And if we go over 99, then we'll figure something else out. We'll probably use that random number generator. Add more dice. I've got a whole bag here.
That's right. That's right. I knew you
And
did, Alex.
that's
I
a
knew.
that's a
Once I saw
small
the
collection compared to most of my friends.
Mark, it doesn't have to be on Twitch because we are rolling dice for this or using random number generators depending on
What I remember to do.
what needs to be done in the moment. Well, I think until you get your new and improved ultra beefy compatible PC, maybe we'll wait the random
Beefcake.
number generators and adding all the
What?
browsers and all these other taxing systems. Oh no! See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about, right? Like, Alex.
I don't even know what I did. I don't know. There must have been something related to the asset updates to 0.3 that's affecting 0.2 for me right now.
I was just thinking about that. It may be the fates have decided that the throne room cannot be completed in 0.2.
We will try 0.3. I cannot promise that it will be any better of an experience for any of us right now.
We have not done a performance check on this yet, right? It kind of quietly released yesterday. You should be receiving an official email if you're in the program today
I think that
or last night. Depends on. I can confirm that the email has been pushed out to the public right now. So. So if you don't already have version 0.3 and you are included in the test, then check your email. You will have the very top should say download for the new version 0.3. So, all right, let's see.
So this is your first view of 0.3 for most of you. You'll notice that the icons are gone. There was a format update for that. So all you have to do is open up your land, hit save, and it'll make a new thumbnail. You can see that templates really hasn't changed, but then there's this new thing called a gallery. So, this isn't mine.
Wonderful.
I was wondering where these published to. I didn't make this. Somebody else made this. So,
That's interesting.
If you, as a viewer, have access to the Game Maker, I can now play your games.
Ooh, I like that.
So, I have no idea what this is. Let's find out. hopefully,
It is getting
hopefully
hot. Is the
everything.
name.
Yeah,
It looks like they started with the desert template. If
yeah,
I
it
was,
does. I saw some green things that I'm gonna guess are cacti. So
yeah.
I'll show you how to publish in a minute. Um, so this is exciting. I've never played somebody else's
Okay.
land
While
like
it
this before.
loads, would you like to
Oh,
roll the dice, Alex?
yes, yeah. Let's go.
All right.
So
We'll get that out.
anything under a 50 or 45 should be
Yeah.
good.
Sure.
7.
7. Excellent.
Double
That's
O
nice and
7.
easy for Joe right here at 8 in the morning. Right. All right.
Oh.
3, 4,
Oh. Oh.
7. All right.
Interesting. So there's no
What happened?
avatar. So I can't
they
even.
never- So it looks like they just published the plain desert template.
It does. That might have been an
Could have just
experiment.
been a
So.
test. That's correct. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna this particular winner came through Twitch. So I'm gonna tag you on Twitch, and when I tag you, if you could DM me your wallet code or your wallet address. Sorry. Okay.
I don't know how to
You
exit.
win. Don't know how to exit.
I don't know how to
this is
exit.
we're doing it live. It's all new, right? Like
Oh, man.
just came out with it. So busy, really, frankly, no time to test. Do it live.
Do it
Don't worry
live.
about it.
Well, my hand was forced. I wanted to show you guys
Yeah.
something, and
Yep. Still, nonetheless, it's a fun
Oh.
development, right? So if you've been working on there we go. Okay. If you've been working on a game in development and you want to try to publish that into the
the
into
gallery.
is what it's called,
Yeah.
right?
So I
make-
knew.
Yeah.
I knew that the gallery was in this build because obviously I opened it up and I saw gallery and I was like, oh, I didn't realize it was going to be like live. So what you can do to publish your game is when you have it open, there's a new button up here in the top right corner after it finishes loading.
I have to test something. You know, I'm gonna test something before Wednesday. But on
Okay.
Wednesday, if I'm gonna give the conclusion, and this is just a teaser right now. But if it works, Alex, I think we're going to have some fun on Wednesday.
Okay.
If it works. We'll talk about it after
Sure.
this stream. But,
Sure.
It's gonna be
Alright.
exciting.
Amara, you gotta wait for the next one. No.
You missed it just a bit,
Exclamation point
Amara.
stands. We pay attention to the time code. We can see
I
see
like that.
everything.
JP Coco said exclamation mark too late.
Womp womp. All right. So hey, quit it with the sand in the chat. All you're doing is making our numbers look
sir.
real good for the chat. So,
Does that?
so there's this little paper airplane icon here, and we click it, and it says, "Hey, do you want to share the game to the gallery?" And you can enter a description, enter the name, and then it takes your current view as a screenshot, and then you click share. And I don't know if I can update what I've previously shared, or if there's a way for me to delete it. Who gave it a 5-star? Oh, I can rate it like that. Cool. Learning things. So I'm not sure if I can. What did I call this? Coin Collect Alpha 0.2. So let's back up. So yesterday I saw that share, and I was like, well, can I put it on a land, or does it show up on my profile on Sandbox.game? Because there is you can see people's lands in their inventory, and I was like, can I push it to that? So that's not available yet. But I didn't realize, because I was the only one who had shared one so far, I didn't realize that you could see other people's land on there. So that was very cool to learn that. So I forgot what I called this. What did I call it? Coin. I want to see if I can overwrite the old one. Coin drop? What did I call it? Coin collector? Whatever. We're gonna make some changes to this anyway, because the physics is too much right now. So I think we're actually going to decrease the amount of insanity going on. We're going to make the spawn less frequent. It is a single plot, yes. On this old computer that is about to get retired from my use, it's going to be a hand-me-down for my wife because it'll be an upgrade for her. But for me, I'm at the capacity of what I can do, and I'm trying to do more. So I'm getting an upgrade in the next week or so, and hopefully I'll be able to show larger lands with that. Yeah, yes, or it will crash. Well, it's 0.2 is crashing all on its own, for no apparent reason. Let's see. So I've got the spawn.
Can I ask you to do a test for me?
Yeah, what's up?
Now I'm too excited. I'm too much of a nerd.
Okay.
Is there a way for you? And maybe you just did it when I was working on my own computer radio.
Okay.
Can you publish this to the gallery right now?
I'm about to.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
I'm like okay. I saw that feature and now I'm super nerding out, excited.
Yeah, you want to see like how fast it goes through?
I do.
How did I know? So we need this. I'm trying to remember how. Wait, are there two fountains?
Coin Collect Alpha 0.2 is already listed as a gallery item.
That's the old one. I did that yesterday.
Very good.
So you can try that if you want. But every time it spawned things, it would hang for a tenth of a second, which was just very noticeable because it was spawning so many things. It was kind of like clunky for me. So I'm trying to reduce the spawn rate here. But I don't see what was making the spawning. I don't remember how I set it up.
Okay, so you've got all the objects that are in the sky that are doing the work.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, let's hit play and we'll see what happens. So they were spawning before. Oh, I hit tab again instead of any other key. So you can see we've got some nice new transparency when you get too close to an object. Ooh. Yeah, you can see that the frame rate's taking some pretty hard hits there.
You're doing a lot, right? You're streaming out. You're doing all these.
Yeah. Probably
not an issue if you were just not live streaming at the same time.
Yeah, no, I ran this yesterday and it was not that bad without the streaming. But you can also see that Sand Fountain is working beautifully now. So that idle animation loop. God, this is the first time that I've seen it working in the Game Maker as intended. Because I've been able to put it in the Game Maker before, but the coins always stopped rotating after the first go. So it's nice. It's beautiful. I'm gonna cry.
It's shiny. It's shiny.
It is very shiny.
Wonderful.
So I'm trying to remember what actually sets off the spawning. So we've got those going, and they're spawning a coin with a spawn delay of 1. I could just increase the delay. Let's do that. That'll be, instead of me trying to figure out who does what over here.
I don't believe that you ever set a trigger to start the spawning.
Well, something was making them spawn. I think you only
just have a collision object, and you had you had them spawning by default, I believe, because the objective was that you collect the coins regardless, and that the skeletons were supposed to seek out those coins and prevent you from doing so.
But you do need a message to spawn it, or else nothing happens. Message required to spawn.
Quite obviously, right?
Because if I don't have that, then nothing
what
occurs.
About maybe it's all of those transparent objects that they would collide with. Did you erase the transparent objects that the coins would collide with?
I did erase those because I'm trying to reduce the number of collisions happening. Okay. So somebody is saying spawn message to launch spawn. That's what starts the game. Who sends the first message, though? I don't remember.
Well, maybe just set the spawn delay to later and less objects pop
Wait,
for now.
why is that an asset spawner? What? I'm so confused now. Message broadcaster. Oh, the edit logic. Okay, I see. So there's a glitch, which, like I said, there's a 0.35 that will be coming out to fix some things that weren't ready in time for this release. So
Yeah.
it looks like when I edit logic on this and then click on the sand fountain, it saves the asset spawner from the edit logic menu. But if I exit that, it shows it's really a message broadcaster. And if I edit logic, it's correct. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's
there's
so
some
you've got a UI from the last element that you had clicked. You got to
yeah.
make sure that you close that before you move on to the next element.
Right now,
That's the
I've just manually set it there. So if I go here, asset
yeah.
spawner, and then I click back, asset spawner. Yeah, it's so for some reason this sand fountain in particular is doing that. So I'll need to report that bug, but it might also be because this is a zero point 0.2 map. So there may be some things in the formatting of the database structure that saves the position and everything on these. So
Sure.
it could be a holdover. So generally, for now, I recommend starting new projects on 0.3. If you're already like deep into something, I definitely back up your project before you ever upgrade to software. And that's true for any tool you use.
Anything.
Yeah. Like, but if something upgrades
Yeah.
to a new version, always back up your file before you open in the new thing because you never know what's going to happen. So do your backup, test it to see if it works in the new one, and if there's any issues, if you can fix them. And if you can't fix them, I would say hold back on the old version for a little bit or start over. So obviously neither of those are ideal choices, but for the most part, I mean that there's when we went from pre-alpha to alpha, when we went from 0.8 to 0.08 to 0.1, pretty much none of my stuff was usable. Like I don't think I could open up any of the old pre-alpha projects, and that was because there was such a large shift in file structure. I think they're still trying to get that to work to figure out a way to update those, but this pretty much worked right out of the gate. Like I just opened the file and I was able to play successfully. So there's definitely been big improvements on the upgrade.
Well, sir, you want to test my theory here?
Yeah, let me hear your theory.
All right. So my theory is, I would like for you to try to save this to the gallery.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna open the file, and then I'm gonna save it to the gallery with a change. And I want to see if it publishes as a different item, which I imagine that it probably would.
So I see an issue with your theory.
Okay.
When you click on something from the gallery, it doesn't open it to edit. It opens it just to play.
Oh no, my idea.
I'm sorry to burst your bubble there. So when I clicked on that desert, it's getting hot or whatever.
When
I clicked on that, it did not open the editor at all. It went straight into
Very good. Okay.
the map. Yeah.
All right.
And this way you can't steal other people's maps and edit them. I think is the main. It's
funny because I wasn't
exclusively
even in
for
that
playing.
Mentally, I was totally like, well, maybe we could find a way to work together on a project right now.
Right.
But that is not the intent of the gallery, which makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Right?
Those features are also coming at some point. I don't know when exactly, but the gallery is mostly just for having other people play. But I am curious to know if I share this to the gallery, how soon you'll see it. So we can test that in a little bit. So I'm just trying to get the. So something's supposed to happen if you interact with this. I thought spawn triggered automatically because I wasn't doing anything to make it start spawning. Maybe my rules are doing something here. So we launch, counter, collected objects, completion mode. I think my objectives got scrambled in order here. Not that that really matters, but end game, message to launch, spawn, collect coins before the timer runs out, send message, defeat. I think there's something. Oh, somebody said in the chat something about being invisible, and I'm wondering if there's just something I'm not seeing. So let's take a look at our hierarchy here. So we got the sand coin fountain, which should be that. We've got deer den, bazaar merchant, a bunch more deer dens. Those are what are spawning the skeletons. We've got ancient treasure, and we've got, where's the skeleton? Oh, that's right. We were trying to see if you would get that.
Yeah.
Code editor. Code editor is not for a while. Petri. I'm not sure how to say your name. I'm sorry, but
Peter.
Peter. Okay.
Maybe.
I believe that. So from YouTube, question is coming from YouTube. The code editor is planned, I believe, for next year. Can you double check the roadmap for me?
Yeah,
I think what we're hoping to get the visual scripting, which is kind of assembling blocks of logic together without actually typing code to build up behaviors. So you'll be able to customize this happens to make this happen, and then you've got your logic gates and stuff, and you'll be able to build custom behaviors. I believe that is planned for next year, and then a full code editing would happen later on.
Yeah, we've got the game on. You're right about that. On the roadmap, it shows Game Maker 2021, official release 1.0, and major updates. More gaming packages, behaviors, and visual scripting. So visual scripting, if you're not aware, is just a slightly more advanced version of what you're seeing currently, in that you kind of get like these code blocks that you can move around that are themselves script. So it helps you kind of go from this easy drop-down menu version to learning code by seeing pre-made code. And then you can move later, when development is ready, to properly coding it from scratch if you're into it. So it looks like I'm so far off from co-building mode. I'm just like way ahead of myself here. On the roadmap that's set at 2020. Right.
2020 what?
To roughly a year and a half.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Maybe longer,
I mean, that's a pretty advanced
it is a super
tool.
advanced trait because it adds multiplayer features into a game builder, right? So
right.
It's like, yeah.
Stabby stab. So that's our hold charge.
Oh, that's really cool.
It does. I don't even have to release that. It breaks on its own. So I did not release click for that.
Sure.
Right,
Alex, I'm curious about this question for you, CRMA. Yeah, the question came through on YouTube that says, do you suggest Magic of Voxel?
I'm going to assume that's Magic of Voxel. And yes, I do. I highly recommend Magic of Voxel. It is what got me into voxels in the first place. One of our other artists, William Santa Cruz, is pretty popular on YouTube. And okay, so it's not spawning the coins at all. So I think we need to make some updates to this map, or maybe even just start it from scratch. But we'll try sharing it. So yes, Magic of Voxel is what I first saw voxel art being made in, where it like really got my attention, mostly because of the rendering, and I was like, whoa, this is really cool. And that was about 3 years ago now, and I like deep dived right into voxels, and like it took over my life, as you can tell now, because it's all I do. So yeah, Magic of Voxel is great, and it is compatible with the tools that we use here. So when you upload stuff to the marketplace to use them in the Game Maker, you do have to do it through VoxEdit, but VoxEdit can import Magic of Voxel files. There is a YouTube tutorial about that, and it's a little bit old, but pretty much all the information is still the same. So I would recommend checking out tinyurl, or I will post it. It's tinyurl.com/VoxEdit is all my tutorials for VoxEdit, and when you get there, you want to click on the last video that I did for the alpha. It might be second to last. Yes, if then and other things like that would be very helpful, and those will come with the visual scripting. Yeah, so the tutorial learning VoxEdit 9. Some of the old ones are hidden, so they still exist if people have links to them, but they're all for the old VoxEdit alpha. So we try to aim for the beta stuff now because there's been so many changes in the user interface. But most of the lessons in here are still the same, and I talk about how to go from Magic of Voxel to VoxEdit, and from VoxEdit to Blender or Unity. So I talk about all the different format changes that you can do. There's a current glitch which should be getting fixed soon. In that tutorial, I talk about how to, if you have a multi-object file in Magic of Voxel, because you can do those scenes with a whole bunch of different objects, I explain how to export it so it splits into single files, because VoxEdit only accepts single files. But there's an issue right now. You can't select multiple files in VoxEdit right now, and if you try to import Vox through the animator, it will crash. But you can import single files at a time through the modeling tool. If you click open on VoxEdit for modeling, it will let you open Vox files still. So that's a known bug. It's getting fixed, and it should be all cleared up in the next major release, I hope. Why was scaling removed? Several issues. Let's go ahead and I'm just gonna fill up the whole gallery with tests, I guess.
I like it.
Somebody's gonna hate me, and they're gonna have to like go and delete these because I don't know how to do it.
The latest experience, I think it's healthy and natural that the latest experiences will be a bunch of test and save, and then there's a featured experiences section.
What that is? That is a thing.
What happened?
Oh, you're gonna see it in a second.
Signed ID. Oh, very nice, very nice. I like that.
It's like Super Smash Brothers when you can like rotate you could hit the thumbstick.
Save error message unknown error. Wait, I can't read it while you wiggle.
Wiggle 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 wiggle.
There we go. Object reference instead of an
I believe that means this guy is the old. No, it's the new version. I'm not sure. It's not liking. I think one of these assets has been removed from 0.3, but I don't have a dev console log here.
Sure.
I'm not in that build right now, so it's not actually telling me which asset. So one of those asset IDs applies to. It might even mean that, like, hey, this is a minted asset. You can't share that on the gallery for free. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
Let's see if I can. I got a land size listing. Select right now up to 2 by 2 land sizes. Interesting change for this one.
Yes.
I'm gonna select.
So when you create two, or when you create new, not two. Good grief, caffeine.
Yep. It's early. No worries.
Fresh pots. So when you create a new experience, you can only select up to a 2 by 2 right now. There are some issues with 3 by 3 and 4 by 4, and probably optimization things that you do need to limit to a 2 by 2 right now. So that should be fixed, I think, in 0.35. Don't quote me on that though. Speaking of giveaways, Charm, let's do another giveaway so you can hear the dice getting warmed up in the background over here. And go ahead and type !sand in the chat if you want a chance at winning 100 sand and an NFT, a chance at an NFT giveaway at the end. So go ahead and start spamming that. What's up?
While we are doing that,
did you publish something?
I'm going to be publishing it to the gallery as I'm telling you that.
Okay.
So I would like to see if you could open up the gallery for me on the stream.
It is ready.
Okay. And you are seeing your test, but I'm going to click share right now. Invalid test, experience save. Interesting. Maybe that was my naming.
Okay. Oh, maybe because mine's already called test? Call it test.
No, I know. I called mine vision test.
Oh, okay.
So the naming convention is fine. I'm just trying to test here and see if it pops in live, like if you're constantly pinging the server to look for these galleries, or if maybe you have to manually go and reload that gallery. So it doesn't appear to be live directly. So could you click on My Games and then go back to the gallery again? I don't know how the netcode is working on the client, so interesting.
Not that fast.
I mean, certainly, if it was like the website is like instantaneous and you're always on, kind of connected, right?
Right.
And that was the question for me. And then, if you could you restart the client and then go to the gallery?
So I just opened up my game, and I'll exit that and see if that does it. Because actually, it does.
Okay.
0.3 has gotten better in that when we exit a game, it does not reload the entire client. So you don't have to log in just because you exited a game. So.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Something is still making those coins spawn. Oh, I guess. I'm. My ADHD is going off. So we're gonna go back to main, and let's see. Hey, there you are. So
you can see it.
I can.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay, that is really rather fast. You just have to
refresh it.
Refresh the main page essentially.
Yep.
And then it's right there. And I put 3 wolves on a hill with a car, just as a test on the Netherworld. So that should be all you'll see.
So Peter, I thought I answered this earlier. Maybe I wasn't very clear. So the visual scripting is planned for next year. I think Joseph explained that. You can all hear Joseph, right? I believe. Talk to me, Joseph.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. I heard myself.
Yeah, I see your audio levels. I'm making sure that it doesn't sound like I'm talking to myself. I think somebody would have pointed that out by now. And interesting. Did you set an avatar?
I did not.
Okay. I want you to set an avatar and do this again because my experience is playable and yours is not.
Yeah.
And this is where I don't know how to exit it.
Oh.
Avatar, yes, we are doing the giveaway, so you can go ahead and join in.
We are testing some of those new 0.3 features, so let's save your avatar.
So yes,
guess
Peter.
Guess what?
Peter,
Sorry.
if I believe Joseph mentioned it earlier, if we take a look at I'll pull it up on the screen. We'll take a look at get it. Sorry, my computer's freaking out a little bit. Come on. Let's go. There we go.
All right.
If we go to the roadmap, so you go to sandbox.game/roadmap.
Yeah, right on the home page. If you're on the home section where it would say overview at the top and says welcome to the sandbox, you can either click on the table on the left that says roadmap, or you can just scroll down a little bit and you'll see the history of the sandbox, whether that be all the way back from when we were developing Sandbox 2D on mobile to the current version that is on block technology.
So, so Game Maker official release 1.0 and major updates with more gaming packages, behaviors, and visual scripting. So that is when you'll be able to tie together those code blocks with different logic. So you can say you have, I don't know exactly how the visual scripting is going to work, but basically you'll have like if wolf hunger reaches, whatever variable, then it will chase after this list of creatures like squirrels and rabbits and whatever, and humans. So that's going to be your visual scripting is tying those code blocks together. And then does it mention code? I don't think it mentions code specifically. So that's the being able to type out your own code in like C# because we use Unity, or using a similar interpretive language, kind of like Game Maker uses. I don't know what Game Maker Studio currently uses, but back when I was using Game Maker in high school, it used GMS, Game Maker Script, and it would interpret into, I believe, C++. So I don't know if something like that is coming to the Sandbox Game Maker anytime soon after the official release next year. That has long been something that we've been interested in doing, but there's a lot of security stuff that we want to be concerned about, because you have people monetizing these games in the metaverse, and you want to make sure that you are not opening up vectors for people to try to scam people out of their hard-earned cryptocurrency and stuff like that. So we do have to be very careful by unlocking full code editing capabilities into the metaverse. So I would say that's at least probably a year and a half, 2 years down the line, if it's coming anytime soon. So, oh, you know what? My eyes just focused on the center of my screen. I gotta remember to look in this area and stop looking all around the edges. Game Maker for 2022. Co-building mode, creating games with friends, custom scripting with programming, third layer, and major updates with more gaming packages and behaviors. So custom scripting right there. Planned for 2022. And did you say that, Joseph, and I missed it earlier?
I believe that I did, but
Because
I don't recall.
I know
Frankly,
you mentioned co-building.
I'm looking at the chat and I'm seeing all these exclamation mark sands, and I'm already doing the math over here, and I'm like,
anything
under 65. We got
43. Got a lot of counting today.
All right, very good. 2022. It is a little bit later, yes.
Yeah, that's. I mean, really, 2022 is only a year and a half away. And there's going to be so much that you'll be able to do with the behaviors. Like the stuff that I've been able to show on stream is only like not even half of the stuff that I've been experimenting with, and it's just because I don't always have time to I can't. These ideas that I have and like how I want to implement them and how I've been testing them and getting them to work, stuff like the coin drop game that we've been messing with, I have much more complicated things that I just haven't had time to explain on stream. So there's a lot that you can do even right now with the very limited behaviors, and every time we add on a new feature, that just it's not like adding a new feature, it's more like you power up the number of things you can do, because you're multiplying by everything else that you've already been able to do times this new feature. So the new features, the new behaviors coming in, the new components, is just exponentially increasing the possibilities that are already huge, if you can, wrap your head around it. So I know, there are going to be people who want the visual scripting as soon as possible, or not, who want the code, hard coding. And like I said, it's really a security thing, to make sure that this is safe, because we are tying all this stuff into people's wallets, and we don't want there to be any any risks to the users.
Sure.
Will Unity be a partner in the future? I do not know.
Sir, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Can you give me a number that's less than 41?
Really? We've
Yep.
got 65 viewers, and we did not have
and only 41 submissions with exclamation mark sand. I can't believe we're giving away free sand here today, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a 55. I need to get smaller dice.
I'm gonna need a bigger boat.
19. That'll
19.
work.
All right. Great. Here we go.
A year and a half is 3 centuries in blockchain time. Well, yeah, that depends on the gas fees, I guess, because things will go slower. But
all right.
Yeah, it is. It is a long time.
The second winner is also on Twitch, so I'm going to put it in the chat here.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Here we go. There we go. And you win. Make sure that if you have won some sand in our contest today, the first winner, it doesn't appear, sent me... Oh, wait, maybe I did. I got a whisper. Okay, so I got a whisper from the first person's wallet. That's good. I'm using the mod view right now. It's a little different. But if you have won, make sure you send me that Ethereum address to a whisper directly to me. I will get that forwarded to our kind of accounting side where they can send you that sand shortly. It may take as much as a day depending on when they check that email. So just keep in mind there's just a little bit of delay on that, but they are halfway around the world from me. So maybe they're already sleeping or enjoying their evening.
Dalton, I didn't see your question from Facebook there at first. Android is planned. You might have actually seen that on the screen as I was scrolling through. Mobile is planned for next year. So it would be something like the gallery here where you can play. You wouldn't be able to make games in the Game Maker from mobile, at least not yet. So Android and iOS, both phones and tablets, we're hoping to be able to support those with Play in the Gallery next year. And I didn't realize this till yesterday. I think somebody had asked me if consoles were planned, and I said no when they asked me, and I was wrong because actually for I think 2022, they're
multi-platform.
Yeah,
is the headline there. Yeah.
So yeah, that was like a you got to look at all this stuff on the website because not everybody's necessarily going to remember to tell you everything at all times. So nobody told me consoles.
That one is my job, right? Like all day, every day, constantly on the telegrams, on the discords, on the DMs, like in the emails and all those sorts of things, right? I actually, this morning I got up and I got on Twitch and I got ready for this stream and I noticed that I had questions via Twitch and I was, that's today happens to be the first time that I've had a direct message on Twitch exclusively for a question, and I was like, okay, maybe that's a new thing. I'll have to be checking there. But if you have any questions about development, you can always reach out on Telegram, and I'm going to put that in the chat. That's probably the fastest way to get the kind of instant response because we've got folks from all over the world helping support right there. And then also you've got Discord. Discord would be super useful if you are looking to kind of share your creations or maybe look for somebody to create with you on those on your game world, whether it be artists if you aren't an artist or you want a developer but you own land and you don't know how to do what Alex is doing right now. So a lot to look at. Well, Alex, I updated it to make the car the avatar.
Great. Well, it's a good thing I launched a game because that means I can back out and.
It's fine. Let's just keep going. We kind of have the idea that the gallery is there, that you can share your experience, you can view those experiences. So we'll stick with what you're doing here.
I'm not. I had no real plans for this. So.
Very good. Let's stick with what you're not planning.
Let's stick with flying by the seat of our pants, our collective pant.
Let's see.
There was a question that I saw in there, and are you launching your own game on Sandbox? Is that directed towards me? I'm gonna assume that's directed towards me, but so I do have a bunch of game ideas for the Sandbox. So I've been interested in game development for about 18 years. and life circumstances made that like not a high priority for me. So I kind of dabbled in things over the years, and so I have a few game ideas that I haven't thought too hard about how I would put them into the game maker, because for the most part I've been planning 2D games. So 3D game development was never something that I really saw myself getting into until I started doing voxel art, and then I was like, oh, I can do this. Um, so I do have lots of game ideas, and I hope to bring a whole bunch of them to this platform. And I've had a lot more game ideas since getting involved with this, because this has been such an empowering tool to see how easy it is to put together a game on this platform. Comparatively easy. I mean, like, there's still a lot of complicated things going on, but this is a tool that I basically taught myself in an afternoon, and then it's just a matter of like mastery of there's a good mix of user error and also things that are incomplete or buggy. So it's a whole process. But
All
the
right.
basics I got down very quickly.
So
What's
I'm
up?
seeing a question that intrigues me here.
Okay.
JJ951 asks, what if I can't make games, but I can make good stories for games? Is the Sandbox hiring writers? So,
Hmm.
and a proper answer to that is that when we do a land sale, like we have done this week, essentially everyone who purchased land is now looking for a game developer if it's not themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're interested in making a story for someone's game, and you can show the quality of a previous story that you've made, get on our Discord channel. I'll paste it in the in here. But the Discord there, we have a section that's specifically lined up for that kind of. Let me see if I can find the title of it because I want to. Obviously, we have our game maker chats, right, where we can get game maker feedbacks, chats, announcements, what have you. There's a section titled specifically collaborations, where people have made proposals, or they have land. And I know somebody asked me a few weeks ago, hey, I'm going to buy a 12 by 12 space and I need people to help me. Where do I find it? And that is where I refer them to. So that's really the best answer that I could say to that is the Sandbox is a publishing platform. It's a game making platform in its current state, right? And a lot of folks like Alex came into this. I came into this in that same respect, where it was like I want to make those games.
Mm-hmm.
However, speaking just for myself here, I am not a writer, right? If you have a compelling story and the ability to do that, I'm much more inclined to want to make the world, to make the art for the world,
Mm-hmm.
than I would to write the stories. So I would be interested in that, but as Joe, I have to consider the financing on that, and you as a writer, I would advise that you make sure that you don't forget that you have value as well.
Right.
So, so if you are writing for someone else's story, make sure that there's some kind of way to make an agreement. You get a share of the revenue of that story, because these are all very easily monetized in the sand as well. So
Mm-hmm.
if it's going to be a game that you are knowingly and willingly going in and publishing for like a free-to-play game, then cool, that's great. You get your experience. You can show off that in your resumes later and those kind of things. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, hopefully that answers your question there.
It's a very good uh, response to that. Yeah, always make sure you protect yourself from people who try to take advantage of you. So uh, I am so overjoyed to be working with the Sandbox, because uh, it's such a generous community. Not just the players and the people interested in it, but the staff here is super generous. Like, if you think it's cool that we're doing the giveaways here, like that's kind of the whole mentality of a lot of the people who work here. Is we're interested in seeing people succeed in this platform, because there's a selfish aspect to it. We do benefit when other people succeed here, but I think that's the way it should be. I think everybody should benefit when everybody else succeeds. Um, so yeah, we have lots of contests and giveaways. We do when we test artists, we do paid tests. We don't try to take advantage of anybody's work. So make sure that when you're dealing with people in the community, you're careful, and you can always approach staff and be like, hey, does this sound legit? Does this I got this message from somebody. What do you know this person? Like, what is this? Because it's very clear who's staff.
I'm pretty much constantly there to answer those questions. I mean, sometimes it takes me a couple of hours to get back to you because I essentially my sleep schedule is 2 naps a day. Last night I had a nap between 2 a.m. and 7 a.m. And that's that. For some people, that is a whole sleep. Usually I like to get 8 hours. And then I'll have like a mid-afternoon when I know the French staff has come online and they can help people with support at like 2 or before the 2 p.m. hour. I'll get another nap, and then I'm up, and I'm the one there from 2 p.m. till like 1 in the morning my time. So
Joseph is just a saint. That's what he's that we're going.
I'm just here to help people. You know what I mean? So if you have a question and you're not sure about something, maybe it seems fishy or too good to be true, send it my way.
Absolutely. I did see a question about the 5,000 face limit. So that's not a hard limit in VoxEdit for the faces. That is a recommended limit to make sure that your games will be well optimized for mobile. So it's difficult to optimize things for an engine that's not complete. So those limits might change over time and it might drift, but what we've generally decided is that for large, complex objects, 5,000 face limit is what is enough to usually get you the amount of detail that you need on things like these larger buildings. And it is not too excessive for lower-end devices to handle it. Now, if you do something like grass, which let's see if the library's going to... It's still loading in some... I cleared my cache yesterday, and I didn't leave it long enough to re-download everything, and I've got a lot of added assets here. So things like this grass, it's a pretty small and simple object, but if you really went over the top with the amount of detail in a small thing, with the amount of geometry, because you can make as many color changes as you want, and that doesn't add extra polygons to this. But it's anytime you do a right angle, so anytime you change direction in your geometry or separate things off, that adds more faces to it. And so you can very quickly hit that 5,000 limit just by doing really noisy geometry. And if you've got something like grass that you want to put all across the whole map, you're going to find that computers are going to start screaming at you because you've got a few million faces across your map that are not they don't have any sort of not depth of field. What is the word? LOD, level of detail. They're not simplifying as they get further away, or
no
popping in and out.
In the engine automatic, essentially, right?
Not yet. Yeah.
Right. So the really important thing about that is that in the future development, and you can see it on the roadmap there, it's intended to go to multi-platforms. In 2021, we would like to be able to have this where folks can play using their smartphones and tablets, right? And later on in development, playing via console, right? So if your game is designed with too many of the polys to end up taxing somebody's mobile device, you're limiting yourself in your potential audience, right? So it's with intent to make sure that you can have the most potential audience and subsequently potential revenue if you're a developer looking for that.
Right.
I think most people are.
and style wise, like this goes back to the scaling question that I don't think I ever fully answered. So we wanted we wanted there to be a cohesive style for the creator fund, and it's okay if people making their own games want to go completely their own style. You can make your own blocks, you can make your own assets, you can make your own everything for what's happening visually in your game. So you can create your own aesthetic for it. But we wanted to make sure that things look good from a different variety of distances. So what we found is when I think this is probably one of the blocks that's going to get changed. We're going to have in the next few months we're going to have like a revamp of the blocks to a new visual style. It's not a new style, but William Santa Cruz did some awesome new terrain blocks, and they're going to get updated. But as we zoom out, like that doesn't look as great because there's too much kind of noise in here. It doesn't look very cohesive from a distance. So we found that making things with more specific textures where it's like very intentional. So you see Tybalt did these houses, and we've got this is clearly a lot larger than one voxel here. By breaking up the visual style into these more cubic shapes, we achieved something that looks better from a distance. So as we have everything across this 4x4 land or whatever, it looks a lot better. So that's why we were aiming for some more visual simplicity, and that's why we got scaling removed, because we found that people were trying to do like little teeny tiny details on things, and not only was that adding extra geometry that oftentimes you couldn't even see because it was so small and so far away, putting tiny little earrings on like super detailed ears on a head or something, and you have to like literally shove your face up against it. It's it's a bit too much, and it takes away from making games that are fun. Really, you want things to be visually striking, stand out, be appealing visually, but also very playable. So that's kind of been the goal here. That's scaling also had other issues. It had some issues with the way things behaved in the Game Maker. So I didn't actually see the cause of that. I'm not sure if it was causing glitches because of inverted scaling or anything like that. I know that's a possibility. So there was just a kind of a unanimous decision to remove scaling. It was kind of controversial at first, and then as some of the issues started popping up with it, everybody in the development team was kind of like, yeah, okay, scaling's got to go. And really, like this is the most detail we need. Like if you can make one voxel a pupil on somebody's eye, that's really all. That's the most detail we need. And then anything bigger, you can just model a larger cube, so you don't really need the scaling for those larger things. So let's see here. We are actually we're 22 minutes past, so we should do the last giveaway. Let's go ahead and get exclamation point sand in the chat. We'll do that last sand giveaway and do a roll for the NFT. And let me see if Joseph's thing shows up in the gallery now.
All right. You can go be an avatar.
All right. So we got about 47 people watching right now. So if everybody joins in, I think we can say any roll under that is good to go. All right, let's see what the gallery has. Oh, Joseph, did you upload over? Did you use the same name?
I overwrote it. Yes.
Oh, so it does work that way.
I didn't voluntarily overwrite. Keep in mind, I saved it as the same name.
Right.
So that would also be an interesting test. Maybe we could do after the stream.
Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty. Hey, there we go. The wolves are pushing me around. See? Oh no! I rolled and went invisible. That's obviously a car is not designed to be an avatar. Am I gonna get damaged by the lava? Probably not. Yeah, I don't think I have health. Okay, well that's a thing.
Yeah, I programmed the car as the avatar, and then I did not set any rules. There were 0 rules. I literally
Right.
went like, okay, let's place 4 objects over here just to test.
No
That's
rules.
Visible equals false. Oh, you're gonna get attacked by the dogs. Can you attack the dogs in the car?
I'm trying to, and it's not.
Oh, wait a minute. Did you wait? They stopped attacking you.
I think they realized they couldn't eat me.
Well, big, you know. What can you do?
They're the dogs that caught the car, and then they went, "What do I do with it?"
That's so funny. So, as a piece of it, don't set the avatar token as car.
No, yeah, not right now.
Yet.
If you do a dodge roll as a car, you become invisible.
Oh, JJ, I love it. I love it. See that in the chat. I think you need a writer. This story is not very good.
Well, that's good to know that you can overwrite them. So, unfortunately, my names are kind of junk on this. So,
I just very quickly. I think after the stream we can maybe test just for 2 seconds and see if you could write with my test name. And I don't believe it'll overwrite it simply because when you click it, it also shows published by me.
Right. Yeah.
Well, nonetheless, I would like to see that.
All right. Let's do the dice roll. Let's see what we got for a winner here. 96. Not there today. We were almost there. We were almost there the other day. Some of the streams for the pre-sale, we had a good 80 people watching this.
Oh yeah.
82. There we go. 38. That sounds doable. So while Joseph's doing that, I'm actually going to test his idea and see if I can. Was it vision test one word? Capital V,
yep.
capital
T.
Capital T.
V, capital T. Yeah.
So CRMA, you cannot publish these to Android or Steam right now. So the Sandbox is the platform. So it's its whole own thing.
I'm sorry, Alex.
Yes.
What was the number again?
38.
38.
Yes. So CRMA, to get back to your question, it's its whole own platform. It's built using Unity, and the games that there should be game players available for PC by the end of the year. Because right now what we're playing it in is the Game Maker, and that's an early access. So the player for PC should be available at the end of the year. Android and iOS for players for next year, and then console players for the year after that, 2022. So the Sandbox would be the game that you would get on your Google Play Store or iOS. What do they call it? The App Store? Is it still called the App Store?
The Apple App Store.
The Apple App Store is where you would get those players from, and then the games would be in the player. Kind of, I think that's how Roblox works, isn't it? You can get Roblox on.
You know, that was a question for someone else.
You're too old.
I'm an old man. You know, Alex, we got 35 exclamation mark Sam submissions.
35.
I got another number. I know out of the 40 plus people we had in here, only 35 of them wanted free sand.
Okay, well I got a 26. So we're
26. Great,
we're good.
Awesome.
We're good on that now.
Top to bottom this one more time even though I could totally go bottom up.
Yeah. So I mean, the question about or as far as it looking like Minecraft, I mean, I think there's plenty of stuff to make it not like Minecraft. I mean, you can't do stuff like this in Minecraft. Uh, Things like the physics aren't there.
Okay.
So
So 27, right? 27?
26,
26. Oh, I'm
26,
sorry.
no 7.
Oh no, I'm
Oh
sorry
no.
now because that means that Dreadwing 999 D Redwing, probably D Red. All right, you win. All right, so this is once again on Twitch. We have a lot of folks coming from Twitch today, not too many on those other platforms. So uh, I have added you in the chat. If you click on my name, you can send me a DM
So
with your wallet code, your address.
so I'm not gonna tolerate any Minecraft shaming here. I love Minecraft. Minecraft is an awesome game. I've been playing it since it was in alpha. So I missed Minecraft Classic, but I've been a Minecraft player for 10 years now. I'm not.
Yeah,
I haven't been able to keep up with it as much because there's been a lot of updates, and I'm an adult with kids of my own, and I'm
sure,
trying to
sure.
make stuff. So I have not been able to keep up with the latest Minecraft updates. But no, I would never say anybody's a noob for enjoying Minecraft or wanting to do stuff like Minecraft. And I'm not trying to say Minecraft is for noobs. There's a I was
Well, yeah,
playing ray tracing mods in Minecraft back in its beta. So
right,
like 8 years before RTX came out, I
right.
had God rays shining through the leaves of a sunrise in the
Yeah.
jungle. So like yeah,
And
there's nothing wrong with Minecraft. You'll never hear me saying any bad stuff about Minecraft like
you
that.
know,
What I
yeah,
was trying to get at with sorry to keep cutting you off, Joseph, but the
no, no,
just to
it's good, it's fine.
get my point across is what I was trying to say is that graphically uh, this is very different from Minecraft. Yes, we've got the blocks for the terrain, and that's just because it's a very easy method to use for terrain. Even Minecraft didn't invent that; it was inspired by other games. One specifically with something, an asteroid miner or something, space miner. I can't remember what the name of the game was, but it copied that idea from there. Um, Not that it's a bad thing. The person who created that game says he's cool with Minecraft. So we use the same terrain method, but as far as what we're doing with voxels, this is very, very different. And the fact that we can, rotate objects, uh, you know, I one of the very first things that I did was I built a whole destroyed city where all the buildings were toppling over each other, and you had skyscrapers that were crumbling. So, I mean, there's a lot of different possibilities, and it's difficult to show in a hour and a half long stream all the possibilities with that because it takes time to put these games together. But most experiences that I've made on a 1x1 land have taken me between, I'd say, like 4 and 12 hours to put together something decent and not
Sure.
super advanced, not super complicated. And that's majority of that is just setting up the world, and doesn't even include asset building. All of these assets are made with voxel tools. Anybody can get started with this. If you can build terrain in Minecraft, you can start building models like this in our voxel tools. Whether you're a noob, whether you're not. I started voxel modeling 3 years ago, and I'm one of the lead artists on this project. So obviously, I had other like life experience and stuff, but voxel modeling is something that is very accessible to anybody who's played with Legos. So
Sure. And
yeah.
and, and I think that that's the critical distinction between a game like the games that you will develop with the Sandbox game maker versus Minecraft, right? Because Minecraft at its base, the way that I look at that, obviously it's much more fleshed out than this. But when I play Minecraft, I think of it as a giant Lego box,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like when you just pull out the bin of Legos that have all the shapes, and you just make whatever, make your airplane by blocking things together. That's what I see Minecraft as when I play. Some people like it just for that. They'll go into creative mode, and that's all they do. They don't play the adventure, survival style Minecraft or anything like that. But the Sandbox is something different. It has a similar visual style, but it is many games, right? It is anything that you want, essentially. It's
Right.
what can you design? What do you want to
Yeah.
make? And so
And that's always
the
been the
features let you.
Sandbox. Like
Right,
this is
right.
the third iteration of Sandbox. So this is the Sandbox 3D if you want, and there was the Sandbox and the Sandbox Evolution before, which allowed your own level creation. So that's always been the goal of the Sandbox, is for people to create their, not just their own worlds, but their own games, their own gameplay.
Right. And the, you know, visually in terms of style, like I would immediately note that this is higher fidelity, right? Like, sure, you have your base blocks, your world building block, where you can see, and you might say, oh, well, this looks like a Minecraft, right? But when it comes to these buildings, that the rug that was just hanging over the side of this building that you were standing in front of, uh, that's obviously much more detailed polygonally than something you would see in Minecraft. The pitch kind of awning on the side there is
Mm-hmm.
doing the same thing, right? It's 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 at an angle, frankly, that you're just not going to see that in a Minecraft like that. And you will see it in some other games though. Voxel style is just its own graphical style now, in the same way that like cell shading is signature in a game like a Borderlands, but you could find it in other games. So
Right.
it's just it's going to be really nice for somebody who is making a game to know that their game will be usable by a mobile user as much as still visually intriguing to a console user that's familiar with that Minecraft style.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool though. I love this. I love the fact that it is doing that animation is really just
It's
just say it.
like,
There's a lot of components in that asset. I can tell the way that they kind of appear to move in a random
yeah,
fashion is very cool.
it does. I do need to redo it, because these are supposed to be gravity arms, so that way people can live in these. So you would not have a fun time if your house suddenly stopped spinning. It just you just splatter across the walls. Very graphic. Um, yeah, I do plan on reissuing this, or re-uploading this after I've made some fixes, because we've had a lot of format changes. This was made a year ago, I think, and there's been so many changes to the format, so many improvements to the way models work in the game. So I'm just trying to give an example of other stuff that you can do, and the idea, like, this is small scale. In theory, you'd want to scale it up really big, but when you put it up really high in the sky and you start playing a game, then it looks like you've got these distant things up in the sky. So
Yeah.
anyway, what is that
Yeah.
Elon Musk
So
invention? It's called the Solar City, and it's for Elon Musk types to go and you know settle on a not planet. Anyway, so
still,
did we get the winner for that last giveaway?
we did get the winner. We have
Awesome.
all threes that was sent out. Hopefully they noticed. I don't see a DM from them back to me yet. So if I added you in the chat, D Redwing 999,
Oh, you
keep
did
in
say that.
mind
I
that
remember
you have won. Um, and now, as a result of that win, as we're getting close to shutting down the stream for this Saturday show, you want to roll one more time?
that. Yes, yeah, we got the winner of an NFT coming up. So I think I might be out of NFTs. I need to double check my inventory, but I'm still planning on minting the wizard. I just we've been updating as you can see from the new hold and swing attacks. We've been updating the avatar format with uh, the new animations, and so I wanted to make sure the wizard has all of that when he's minted. So, and don't feel bad, CRMA. I just wanted to address that really quickly. I'm sorry if I sounded harsh. It just you know we try to be like a fun, positive community, and I also love Minecraft. So if somebody says that I'm making fun of a game or something like that, it's probably not true. That's not the kind of person I try to be. So, uh, good thoughts. We're gonna have a happy weekend here. Nice, sunny, beautiful weekend. So, uh, winners 1, 2, and 3 will be divided up on a 6-sided die here. So winner 1 gets 1 and 2, winner 2 gets 3 and 4, and winner 3 gets 5 and 6 on the roll for an NFT. So, and yes, I hope Wizzy becomes very valuable in less than 20 years, because he was made on the live stream. He's in the first year of NFTs for the Sandbox. Also, he is super limited, so he's going to be a legendary, only 200 quantity, and I'm going to be tracking who wins, so you can only win him once. So people are not going to want to trade theirs because you're not going to have the opportunity to get another one of him winning. Yeah. So he's going to be super hard to get a hold of secondhand. So hopefully that makes him pretty high valuable. So 5. So Dreadwing, you did win. You won the NFT. So I'm going to check my inventory and see what I have available.
Okay.
What did you do? You typed exclamation point in the sand in the chat. That's what you did.
Yeah. Yep. And I'm seeing it and I'm having a laugh. Okay, so what you want to do is send me, and I'm typing this in the chat, send me your ETH address so that I can get your sand to you.
And then I'll send the NFT.
Can get you an NFT in the future. As soon as the NFT is available.
Yeah. And I might have one. I just have to double check what I have. I'm trying not to clear out of the ones that I want to keep a hold of. So so it might be I'm really hoping to get Wizzy minted this next week. I know I keep saying that, but our head animator keeps on releasing new animations, and I'm like, are we good now? Are we good? But it's because we've been trying to upgrade the combat system for 0.3, so that is mostly set now. He's working on a couple new animations, but I don't think they're going to be out soon, so I think we're just going to roll with it. And the plan is that all those animations will be available in the future. Wizzy's going to be template locked, so excuse me, any new animations that come out for the medium human template, Wizzy should have access to those later. All right, well, thank you everybody for joining. I know we went a little bit long today. I hope that a bunch of you were able to participate in the sale, and keep your eyes out for an announcement of the new sale. I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't know when the sale's going to happen. I don't know when the announcement's going to happen. They don't tell me this stuff. So I get to be on the hype train with all the rest of you.
I will copy this address, and I'm going to send this address over to Alex. That way he has it.
Awesome.
For the NFT, once those are finished minting, he can send you that, and then I am forwarding that address to our accounting so that we can get sand from all 3 of our winners today to them. And then the last thing before we go, I just want to remind everyone that I announced this during our pre-sale events, but if you're following me on social media, on Twitter specifically, I'm going to be holding contests leading all the way up to the next pre-sale event, where once a week we are going to give away a piece of land. So follow me over there at VisionX, just like you see here in our chat.
Alrighty.
I'd love to see what you can make.
He wants to see what you got.
Show me what you got. Have a good day.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.